kindergarten. It's Mrs. Hillberger. I'm back. So, Mrs. Hill, she's really tired again. I mean, she's been like doing all this teaching, and teaching can be a little tiring sometimes. So, you know what? I told her, Miss Hill, just go take a nap. Take a nice long nap. And I said I would be more than happy to do your lessons with you today, with help from Little Tweet, of course. So here's what I hear. I hear that you guys are supposed to work on day 26 lessons, and that it's Wednesday, May 6th. Mrs. Hill gave me all the materials. So here's what she says you need. Oh, we're doing reading and word work, okay? I know I sound a lot like Mrs. Hill. Don't be fooled by that. Mrs. Hillberger is my name. So here's what you need. We need this book called Which Tree? Okay, we'll read that together. And then this paper, it says day 26 at the top. This is our reflection for our reading. We also have a new word list. So you need your cycle 21 word list. It's right here, okay? And the page that it's on says day 30 at the top, but your word list is right here. And then you need a blank piece of paper for doing your rainbow words. Pencil, of course, and crayons or markers or colored pencils for your rainbow words. Okay, that's all you need for reading and word work. So go ahead and pause the video to get your materials. All right, let's get started.
Your learning targets for today are: I can identify the main topic of a book, and I can form an opinion about which tree and leaves are the most interesting. Now let's read Which Tree.
Okay, so I'm going to show it to you up on the screen, but if you guys want to follow along, that's the same book that you have printed right here. I just thought it would be nice to see it in color, okay?
See these leaves? Their tree can be hollow inside. See these leaves? Their tree has a sharp trunk. See these leaves? Their tree makes sweet syrup. See these leaves? Their tree has many colors. See these leaves? Their tree looks like an umbrella. See these leaves? Their tree is the tallest. See these leaves? Their tree is covered in fruit. See these leaves? Their tree grows roots from branches. Now that you form an opinion.
Whoops, okay. All right, that was actually really cool. I'm glad we saw it in color. There are some really interesting trees here. So I really actually wish that they had told us the names of these different kinds of trees, but maybe we can research and figure it out on our own. I thought this tree, the colorful tree, was super cool. The only one that I actually know is this tree because it gave us a clue. It says, well, we also learned about the shape of this tree's leaves, but it says their tree makes sweet syrup. And we learned about how the sugar maple tree is where we get maple syrup. And I remember the sugar maple tree leaves being that shape. But some of these other trees, I really don't know. And I wish I knew what kind of tree they were. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We need to think about, let's see, we're going to get our paper right here. We are going to think about, first of all, we're supposed to discuss the main idea, okay? So the main idea of this text, what do you think this text is mostly about? Is it mostly about Little Tweet? Is it mostly about cotton candy? Okay, what is it mostly about? Whisper to Little Tweet. Good. So I'm thinking that this text is mostly about different trees, but really interesting kinds of trees. So really different and unique kinds of trees. Okay, now we get to develop an opinion. Remember, an opinion is how you think or feel about something. So this says, which tree and leaves from the book are the most interesting? Now there's no right or wrong answer here, guys, but we have to write about one of the trees that we saw in the book, okay? Now, some people might think that this tree is the most interesting. And see, it really would help if we knew the name of that tree. Some people might think the tree that looks like an umbrella is the most interesting, or the one that's the tallest is the most interesting. So why don't you think, oh, and also the leaves. It says which tree and leaves. So like if you look at these close-up pictures of the leaves, maybe you think, like I thought, let's see, these leaves seemed like looked really interesting to me. Why don't you guys think about which tree and leaves from the book you think are the most interesting? And put your finger on your nose when you know which tree you liked the best. All right, now remember, we all might have different opinions here. I like this tree personally, so that's the one that I'm going to write about. Now, you don't have to write about that one. And since we don't know the names of the trees, we're just going to have to describe them, okay? So I'm going to write, remember it says which tree and leaves from the book are the most interesting. I'm going to write, I like the tree with the colorful trunk. Okay, I know how to write I like the, and guess what? The book spelling for tree is right here. I like the tree. Oh, with. We learned that word in class, didn't we? But I also can sound this one out. With. With. Now remember, good writers reread their sentence as they go to make sure it makes sense. I like the tree with the, oops, sorry, that was kind of crazy fast writing. Colorful. Now I'm just going to do sound spelling for the word colorful, since I maybe don't know how to spell that word. Colorful. Okay, I just want to show you guys, if you get to a word you don't know, it is okay to just write the sounds that you hear. That is all right. Okay, let me reread. I like the tree with the colorful trunk. Trunk starts with tr, just like tree. Trunk. That actually is book spelling for the word trunk. And I wonder, it might even be, no, see, it doesn't say the word trunk on that page. But remember, guys, you can use your book to see if you can find book spelling for words that you need, and also use your book to remember what all the different trees look like so that you know how to describe them. Now, you do not need to write about the tree with the colorful trunk unless that was also your favorite. And then down here, it says, draw a picture of your favorite kind of tree that shows why it is the most interesting. So since I wrote about the tree with the colorful trunk, I would draw a picture and color in a really similar picture to this one, right? I would color in that colorful trunk because that is why I chose that tree as the most interesting. Okay, guys, so you're going to go ahead and do that. Write a sentence about the tree that you think is the most interesting and draw it. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, guys, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do rainbow writing with our new word list. So you'll need to get your Cycle 21 word list. It starts with the word cub, okay? Now, I wrote the words up here so they would be a little bit easier for us to see. And before we rainbow write them, I definitely would like to practice reading them with you, okay? Because I want to make sure that we know how to chop up these words and we know what they say. Before we do any of these, I noticed that look at all these words at the end, not the top one, but all the others. They all have two of the same letters at the end, N-K, just like the word trunk that I just wrote. So N-K at the end of a word says ink, ink, ink. It's a little tricky to make that sound. So I-N-K is ink, ink, and A-N-K is ank. And sometimes you'll see U-N-K, which says unk, like in the word trunk. O-N-K is onk, like in the word honk. And E-N-K, I don't even know if I know any E-N-K words. I'll have to think about that. But this is new for most of us, so this might be a little bit tricky for us. But let's go ahead and go through our words. All right, now make sure you're paying really careful attention to which of these are B's and which of these are D's. I can't hold up both of my hands at the same time, but remember, if you go like this with this hand and then this with the other hand, they're in the correct order of the alphabet. A, B, C, D. All right, let's do it one more time. A, B, C, D. So I know that this one right here is facing the same way as a B. Okay, here we go. Let's chop them up. Oh, you know who we need? We need flat Mrs. Hill. Here we go. Ready? Cub, cub. Your turn. My turn. Mud, mud. Your turn. My turn. Dug, dug. Your turn. My turn. Fun, fun. Your turn. My turn. Fed, fed. Your turn. My turn. Egg, beg. Your turn. My turn. Hen, hen. Your turn. My turn. Pen, pen. Your turn. My turn. Met, met. Your turn. My turn. Jump. Your turn. My turn. Club, club. Your turn. My turn. Stun, stun. Your turn. My turn. Lend, lend. Your turn. My turn. Nest, nest. Your turn. Now we're getting to that tricky ending. So I'm just going to chunk them together. I'm going to go ink, pink. Your turn. Good. Ink. Your turn. My turn. Ink, sink. Your turn. Ank, bank. Your turn. Ank, thank. Your turn. Awesome job. You rock. Okay, friends, so for rainbow writing, remember you're going to write all of these words down in pencil on a piece of paper. And then there's a few ways you can do rainbow writing. Let me just show you with the first word. So I'm going to start with cub. I write it in pencil. You can, I'm going to dump out my crayons here, do a different color for each letter, like this, if you want to. Or you could trace over the word 3 times with a different color each time. Some of you have been writing it 3 times like this, and then just writing the whole word in a different color each time. So like the whole word in blue, whole word in orange, whole word in pink, or whatever colors you choose. But the idea is that you practice each of these words so that they'll really get glued into your brain. All right, go ahead and pause the video and do your rainbow writing.